What's good with y'all, man? I just wanted to talk to y'all real quick and ask y'all if y'all had any donations by chance. Anybody out here? Uh, just to keep it 100% to the point. Right now, I'm being bothered with some pain to my left side of my head in this area. Extreme pain. Whew, it's like trying to lift a huge weight. It's weakening a little bit. Y'all, I don't get donations like I used to, man. I haven't eaten in 3 days. I'm not just saying that. I swear to God that I have not eaten anything meal-wise in 3 days. If I've had anything to eat, it's snacks. And that's not eating like that. But we know some people are very technical, and when you say you haven't eaten anything, if you've eaten a couple of crackers, they'll say, well, you ate something. You know what I mean? I really haven't eaten anything. And so that's my cash app for y'all to send donations to. This is extremely necessary until I get hired at my job. This is the other thing that I do. This is where I'm at with it. As you can see, sky blue was the color of the year last year. Art by PR is the cash app. This is a spirit causing this pain, for those who wonder, that I'm trying to fight in my brain. It has the power to set me to sleep, cause pains like this, and moves it from up here to my teeth, and then from my teeth to up here. When it stops up here, it goes to down here. When it stops down here, it goes back up here. And I got tortured with that all last night. And it didn't start back up until I sat here and started to draw. I also have been taking notes of when the pain has been coming, because I know it's it, and it's starting every single time that I start to draw. And so it went from me being touched on, which, and I'm not saying that that's stopped, but when that's going on, the pain is going on, which is not detectable like the touches have not been, they ain't been going on. Thank you, the Queen 01T. I'm extremely harassed by a spirit daily, and my purpose on coming here is to ask for a donation, man. Instead of going in the store stealing food. I couldn't say it when I was at the job interview. But my friend Jeremy had sent me some money so that I could get some Listerine for the interview, not interview, but what do you call it? Drug test, right? And so I had to use that for that. I got the Listerine, and what's crazy is when I got to my drug test today, yesterday and today, because I had to redo it today, it was a piss test and not a swab test. So the Listerine was obsolete. I got it for nothing at that point. Unless I have enough, well, not for nothing completely, because who knows? When you're, if I didn't get this job, you might need it for another job. I mean, I'm gonna keep, applying. I'm pretty sure some job might actually swab test. But what I've always been trying to explain to people is, I've heard a lot of people with this situation of me not having things and having to come on here and ask people for things, tell me that you need to get a job and things like that. When it comes to me getting something to eat, when I come on here asking like now for donations to get some, just to get something to eat. Ooh, I'm pushing pain out the way. I'm sorry, man. What I was trying. What's going on is there's something in my brain, some finite spot where it's pointing this pain to this spot. And if I could visually and show that to y'all, there's a spot in my head that I'm feeling this pain. And I'm like coming from the inside. My internal me is pushing this pain like this. Like this. Spreading it out to stop. You get what I'm saying? Pain, if you could see pain in the spot, when it's red, like if somebody got hit in a certain spot, you know what I mean? You're going to see a red spot. There's residue of them being hit. And what I'm getting at is, that is residue of, that's a visualization of pain. So when you see pain, it's usually centralized, is what I'm getting at, a spot. And this pain spot that I ain't feeling it now, as I'm explaining myself well, it's going away. I can feel it going away. That's how I know it's this damn thing, man. Don't know other pain out here do that. Like the pain listening to you, talk about it. Okay? So what's going on is this pain, this spirit chooses a spot to place this pain wherever it wants to, and I have to come poke the pain, find the spot, or focus on the spot, because it's obviously already found. And when I focus on the spot, I start to try to break it from a focus point to an open circle. I'm coming in between, breaking the shit, and just spread. You know what I'm saying? Spreading it. And when I get freed off of it, that's where y'all see me do this right here. When I do this, and this is what I'm feeling. I'm spreading it like this, the spot of pain. This is what's going on in my head right here. And y'all see me doing this right here. And then it does it fat. When I finally get the break, you know, kind of like when two people are fighting for control or something, and one of them starts to weaken, it goes faster. You struggling at, and then when that fucker starts to weaken, it start like that, and that's what I feel, and that's when y'all see my skin, like my ears, I be, cause I can feel my shit loosening up, and then it comes back again with the pain again. It's a recursive cycle over and over again, and then when it can't win, it'll set me to sleep or some shit like that. On the real, it's irritating as hell, and that's part of what's kept this from getting finished. Sitting up fighting up because I can't draw with that shit poking at. This is my vital organ. This controls everything else. So if this is being bothered, everything else gonna follow, and that's why I've been bothered. That's not an excuse. That's why I lost jobs due to this piece of shit, man. Trying to do orientation and being set to sleep, going through shit like that, and I gotta explain myself well so that others can know how to fight this thing. Because when I tell people that you don't want to deal with this piece of shit, if you ain't got the ability to know how to control your inner body and be intact with your inner body, the you, such as, and what inner body am I talking about? When you go to sleep and you dream and you still feel things as if you're in this real world. That's the body that I'm talking about. That's the mental body that I'm talking, that this thing is bothering inside the fuck of me 24/7. The you that's connected to your mind's eye. And that's real talk. All damn day I sit up, and here you go again. It's back here in this. He started, when I stop, the pain starts. What type of shit is that? And it sits up here and focuses on doing this to me all day. Like something from hell that can't rationalize what time is. What a long time is. If you from hell, which is eternal, a chunk of hell, a big nice chunk, or a little bitty piece, even better to make the example understood, it's a long ass time for that. That's thousands of years. So this here ain't nothing when Corey's saying, dude, it's been 4 years. You've been sitting up here staring at me. As long as I'm feeling touches, you got to look at what you're going to touch. So I feel touches every day. That means I'm stared at by this damn thing every day. And they've been staring at me. This is the thinking process that Corey's went through when I thought about what this thing is doing. And when other people can accept that it is something, a spirit doing that, they will understand the same things that I'm saying. But first, I realize that people have to understand and comprehend greatly that it's a spirit. Once they get that, they'll be like, damn, bro. Whatever that is bothering him, it's staring at dude 24/7. All it think about is him. It don't go off and do nothing else. On my mama. And I mean, as long as he's got footage of him being bothered, that thing been sitting there, like I'm talking to this camera. And get the poking on this camera and shit, this phone and shit. It's been doing that shit to Corey. And that's why I make fun of it in the voice I do, because don't no man, it think it control me, right? To sit up and try to overpower my body with the things it does to me, that's a sense of control that I sense something thinks it has. And when you control something, you're more stronger than something, right? Well, how the hell is something more strong than me when it's sitting up there needing me all day, looking at me, nosy, wanna Corey? What are you thinking, Corey? I wanna draw. Act like I'm drawing with you. He picks up the drawing and starts to draw. Puts his hand on the paper. Heat his little right hand up a little bit. That's what I deal with. That's the mindset of this bitch that I deal with. I don't know what he sound like. I don't know what the bitch look like. He could look like a damn gorilla at the face. I don't give a fuck. All I know is, don't no man sitting up strong and in control of they self sit up and do no shit like that. Nothing powerful needs to follow behind anybody and be bitch-eyed. Looking at another man, that's what a bitch do. Just so bitch-eyed as hell. Corey. I can stare you all day, Corey.
I like you, Chloe. You funny, you smart. Yeah, I want to be with you. I don't care what you say all day. Cuss me out, yell at me. Oh well. I'm feeding off of your energy.
And that's for the people who say that he feeding off of my energy. What he doing right now? What would you say he doing right now? Feeding off of that? Too? That's a good question. When you making fun of a bitch. I'm here to tell you, man. Hey, thank you to everybody who has been a help with the Cash App donations, with the food. My partner been helping me with the cannabis, man, the weed. He been doing that ever since. Like I said, once he got his other job back, he been helping me. So I got this little bit right here as a joke. Look at that. This is the start of my savings because I'm about to have a job potentially. I don't know. But I got 3 joints here. Rolled up and ready to go. And all I be thinking about is his work. How many people noticed the pyramid that I put there too? Great idea, right? I succeeded so far in Apple Ink utilizing the same color name that I chose twice in a row. Last year with Sky Blue, this year with Indigo. And so that's a that's the most richest company in the world. You know that, right? Besides him and it and Google is going neck to neck right now. And so I'm mentioning that because that's $1 trillion job right there. My logo, which is that. So if it get built, my clothes, Google can't see. I get to do things that Google and other stuff can't do. Google couldn't come out with a clothing line. Though I'm gonna be working with them and they're billionaires, they are influential people in this world running the world for real. You couldn't tell me they ain't. Them Apple, when you open your phone, it's just like the time of day. They right there. When you get to sign up for something, they right there asking for your email. Google is very important, no matter how much we try to run from it. But they can't make a clothing line called Google. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? They could have put you. Ain't nobody gonna wear that shit for nothing. Don't nobody care how much y'all. You understand? They not gonna put Google on no shirt and start wearing Google out here. But that right there, you could put that on the shirt, and people gonna wonder what that is. They're gonna see that this is the first symbol that when you put it on the shirt, it infinitely zooms in. A Nike symbol can't do that. You can't zoom in on the symbol infinitely because when you do this right, since it's a fractal, it has that cool element to it. You can forever zoom into this. So it's gonna make that symbol stand out when people start to fucking wear that shit. Especially if a price is anointed with that, money is associated with that, as in royalty. Shit, man. Them numbers is what that is, right? It's gonna speak a lot. This is for rich people. This is the clothing of the future. And I'm not lying to you. I'm not just speaking. Y'all hearing this and you lucky to hear this right here, right now. I'm not saying this for nothing. If I got a job and got money to come in, this is what I would spend my money on. Please comprehend that. And that's real talk. My first things that I would spend my money on is to start my first t-shirts. So, at the end of the day, the $1 trillion plan is that. That's energy and water. And it's not just that as well. It's also a way to preserve the natural world that we got around us. We're born in some of its natural ways. Not all of them necessarily. Not evil animals that eat blood, carnivores and things like that, which I don't like. You know what I mean? Man. I be dealing with a lot, y'all. I do. I be confused. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. This goes into a lot. The software ain't even mentioned yet. Please pay attention to the futuristic colors. When you look at these different high billionaire companies that run the world, please notice something about them. The colors of the elements, the primordial elements, is what they chose. That's what mine is too. So Google, Windows. I'm talking about stuff that people can't live, that runs the world around you. I'm pointing out the best I can to y'all. So that's where you'll see that I'm in conjunction with them. And they would even feed towards my stuff. Google would look towards your work. Once they see the discovery, they'll be like, hey, you think it wouldn't be likely that they would say, hey, he got this, it's the same colors as ours, it's Google. You know what I mean? And then the satellite that it has to be merged with Google Maps, like I'm drawing and showing the world with the discovery and everything, you then need a real satellite. This is how you figure out what the Nazca Sun Star and everything is really communicated to you. And you also gonna figure out something else right there. That, okay, if you had to use all of that to figure that out, that means that something probably used that in order to make it figurable in the first place. That means what? That, yeah, we see evidence of flight, since you can only see those lines from the air, the Nazca lines from the air. It's probable to have existed back then and been a thing. But we don't think about things like satellites, drones. We thinking man-powered flight. We not thinking remote power flight. Sending something up there. And at that point, you really can't do that unless you have technology. And that's for real. Something to, an interface to look at down here that projects what's going on up there. And that's straight up. So, oh yeah. Come on, snap out of it. I like this. I don't even utilize technology because I be being bothered by a spirit. Thrive and thrive. That's what I got to my right hand. There it is right there. Not because I spoke of it, but it did it before I even could get the words out. That the spirit is why. I can't utilize technology and all that is given in this time that we living in, this beautiful time, because of that. See, a lot of y'all want to live in a natural world. In just the natural world. We need to get back to nature. I ain't going to disagree with you. I say we do need a relationship with nature, but I say that we don't have to just only deal with nature and that's it. If we didn't have the technology that we got, y'all, even paper alone is a technology. Paper and pencil is a form of technology. If we did not have the technology we have in this world, it would be horrible, hard for you to deal with the population as high as it is. Going to work, a lot of the things that y'all get to just type up and send in, real quick, that y'all have not realized you really kind of need. I mean, if you're going to have this many people in the world, I'm trying to tell you, you'll be writing out everything. Losing papers, you know what I'm saying? In storms and things like that. But digital, it's certain stuff we need, man. And some of y'all don't understand that. And I'm loving it. I'm enjoying what humans have been able to, out of the damn dirt, we make these phones. Because it ain't coming from the air. When they making these phones, there's nothing being pulled from the air. It has to come from the ground beneath us. Every last bit of hard material. The gases and things, that's another thing. Yeah, that's the air. You can get at that. Like the lithium and stuff. Yeah, I understand that. But the hard material, that's all coming from like people walked all over the earth thousands of years ago. They could have had these cell phones. It took us to think of the correct mixture, chemistry of elements and geometry of positioning things, because that's all that a phone is. A chemistry of elements working together, quartz, crystals, and bronze, and You know, all type of stuff that you putting together in the geometric configuration of stuff is what's causing something to work. For real, how it's shaped, how thin it is. And I'm enjoying living in that time, man. I'm not gonna sit up and cut myself off or sever myself from what I feel like we got a brain that separates us from other animals for. They live out there in nature, and it's very hard for them. Every day, they get eaten by other animals. We would too if we was just out there in nature and didn't have nothing we got. We would be food. We don't have near as much strength as a typical animal, typical monkey. So a gorilla, if it got hold of you or something else, you dumb. In nature. Besides that, I just wanted to talk to y'all and show y'all when it comes to this $1 trillion plan. Man, when it comes to building this pyramid, y'all ain't gonna learn this, see nothing like this nowhere else. And I'm not just bragging. What you see here right here. Oh, I don't think you'll be able to see it. Well, there you go. That's the magic trick. Man, that's kind of cold if I could put that right in there. Yeah. But anyway. The pyramid that you see located right there on that work goes right here in the center that you see right here. Now, what y'all don't get, what I'm saying for you've never seen any blueprint like this. Why I said that? Probably think he's just talking because I'm taking a long time to deliver the climax of what I'm talking about. That's how Corey is. Because it's so dope to me. Pay attention close. What you see here, remember, Corey ain't never cocky for nothing. What you see right here is, if you know what a fortune teller, a paper-made fortune teller functions like, that's what you see going on right here, architecturally drawn out. Similar to that. You see a pinnacle right here is at the center, and a pinnacle right here. Because when you look at this whole geometry from the top, it's a pyramid from a top view. And so this is the center of a pyramid. This right here is another pyramid, but this is the center of it, the top. But what you have to realize is this is an octahedron. This has a front and the back is the exact same. And a lot of y'all might not think like that. So the back is exactly like this. And therefore that makes this the same view from, if I got up here on top of the 4 and 5 and look down, you would see a 4 and 5 behind that, making it a square. 4 and 5, 4 and 5. And you would see the same thing that you see here with 0 and that going on. Understandable? What I'm getting at is, if you tilt this to a 45-degree angle like this, what you see right here, after I just mentioned that part to you, that it folds up like the fortune teller, this right here is the pyramid itself, right? As you can see. One of them. Where there's a line that gets drawn right here. That's where the water is. The water line right here. You get what I'm saying? So what's this part right here? Where is it filling in? There's a pyramid or part of the pyramid is going to be submerged underwater. So you're going to see the big pyramid up above, but people are going to be like, God damn, the mug really bigger than what people, because most of it is underwater. So everything under, what does that mean? If this right here, if you switch out and pretend that this is the side view of a pyramid, and you could walk into this center right here, and this is the pyramid sticking up out of the water, That means that everything that you see under here, if y'all can glance, when I told y'all I know how to clean water, everything that you see under here, you gotta, it's like being on drugs. You got to think like you on drugs, like shrooms. And I'm not talking about hardcore drugs, I'm talking about like shrooms, weed. You gotta think like you high as fuck, bro. Like, I'm not playing. And you'll see it all. All of this down here is all the underworks of what would go on under. And that's how you clean the water. It's right there. That's how water was made in the universe. If you understand that. The Big Bang and its primordial elements, you're seeing that right here. That's not it, but it's like a diagram, representation of the motion of the elements. Real talk. So this little bit that you're seeing right here, this area right here would be, now let's get back on top. You have a climax of the pyramid that'll be right here. But I told y'all what I just told y'all about that one right there. When you tilt it to a 45 and this being the water. Well, that's the side view. Let's get on top view, like I was just saying. And when you get on the top view, what you'll recognize is, I'm trying to help it be seen better, but what you'll recognize is, like I pointed to that, that's the top of the pyramid. Now what you do is, since you're on top, this is you can unfold a pyramid, if you understand what I'm saying. You get on top of a pyramid and unfold it, what's it gonna look like? And that's what you see going on right here is what I'm getting at. So that's where you see the folded in version. If you came in and erased this right here now that we just used and covered this up, now you can see where you took this basically and folded it inward to where that right there, this reverse half is exactly what you just folded. It's right there in front of you. You get what I'm saying? That's dope, ain't it? And so therefore you have the folded aspect of it all right there. It's all right there. Like the whole top view, side view, it's all right there. The whole blueprint is already made, and I can swear to God, I could just say to people like, bro, I'm telling people I need to finish this project, but it really is already, it's fractal. It's already done. The work is truly already done. That's why that $1 trillion, it said it's worth trillions. That one piece of paper that I drew out will end up worth trillions because of how much it means. It's not about the drawing size, it's how much it means. And that's what the artificial intelligence said. And that ain't a joke. It might seem crazy, don't it? Sound crazy. But it said that different nations could fight over the power of it too. That's why you see it powerful in different nations all over the world, like I've shown you. So when you fold that in like that right there, and you got that base that's being drawn of the pyramid right there from the center on each side, this is where the water goes. We just saw it from the side right here. The water makes a circle like the earth. Like y'all seen the earth that I drew? It makes a circle right there at the 8. Just like I drew the world. And that's the water around the pyramid. Now how that water is cleaned and filtered, you see the mechanisms, the geometry especially of the engineering right there. You will need a perpetuating motion machine. If you understand that, that's what you see right there is perpetuating motion. For free energy to exist, you need perpetuating motion. For something to be clean without humans having to power it and keep it going, like a windmill or something like that, perpetuating motion is needed. And how would you keep something like that going without wind causing something to move? That's where you configure something. The most constant energy in the world that y'all learn from me, at least, because some of y'all don't believe in gravity. And I understand why you don't. But me on my end, I'm going to tell you this. The most constant energy and most tap-inable energy that there is gravity. Not water and its motion, not wind and its motion, not earth and its motion, but gravity, because that's a constant motion that is always going on. And so if you configure something correctly, you can fractal out the energy to turn it back around on itself. If you understand what I'm saying. Literally. But water, any other thing that you consider an energy, like water can have energy, air can have energy, you have to put a motion on that air first. For you to feel air in this, it's air in here right now, but for you to feel it, you got to move it. You know what I mean? Still water doesn't create energy like that. It's the moving aspect of it, if you know what I mean. That's power in anything, like Niagara Falls, for instance, as an example. So what happens when you realize, okay, fuck the Niagara Falls, or not that like that, but when you realize that Niagara Falls is motion, it's the motion of the water that you're tapping into. You tap into the motion of gravity. That's where you start to discover anti-gravity as well. And that's where you start to open up the doors to understand how the stones were lifted like they were. So, and that's, once you have a mind like this that comprehends that, the opening door to comprehending the truth behind things is questions. What you question. And once you got that question already there, the next step is figuring it out and knowing the answer. Once you know the answer, I'll be doggone if they tell me that the pyramids ain't gonna be built again, or we don't know how to. You know what I'm saying? That's why I went ahead and did what I did, was ahead in time and did what I did, because I know the value of it. It could really turn out to be some trillions like the artificial intelligence pick up on. It's not gonna be hurt by Corey's teeth and see how fucked up his face is and stuff like that, and how ugly he is, and tell him that his plan ain't worth trillions of dollars because of what the fuck he look like, focusing on some other values. It's more so less human, if you understand, and doesn't have feelings incorporated in stuff. It's gonna keep it more real. I'm not saying it has all the answers, but I'm saying it's going to keep it more real and not have back of the mind stuff in his mind. So with that being said, I just wanted to share that with y'all. I'm gonna head on out of here. Please donate to anybody. I'm gonna leave this public, of course, as well. Anybody that can donate to the Cash App as strongly as needed, man. I'm telling you, man, 3 days is a long time, and that's why I come on here and ask, like I do. You know, fasting this many times over and over is ridiculous. And I hope y'all can understand it. You know, fast. I mean, how many times do you fast in a month? I mean, come on, it gets ridiculous. So something has to change there, man. I'm working on what I can change, and that's getting a job. But what I'm explaining to y'all is to act like nobody needs the help. I mean, golly, bro, what could I do but steal from a store to get my food to eat, among having a hungry stomach and doing the righteous thing and asking the public? They say a closed mouth don't get fed. I open my mouth, whether I get fed or not, that's on y'all at that point. You get what I'm saying? That's not my fault. I'm doing what needs to do to get something going constantly in the future. But right now, I can't make my paycheck come right now, if you understand. Regardless of if I got a job tomorrow, the paycheck ain't gonna come until 3 weeks later. Okay? So peace out, y'all, and much love to you. Thank you for attending, for real.